And we're live. All right. Welcome to the OUYACast episode 2, recorded on Sunday, February 23rd, 2014. Your weekly source for the latest news, games, hacks for Ouyans everywhere. I'm Brandon from OUYACentral.tv.
And I'm Steve from OUYABrew.com. Thanks for joining us for our second. That's right, we made more than one OUYAcast.
Oh yeah.
All right. So before we get started, I just want to announce that Ouya Brew will be doing a special giveaway at the end of the podcast. So grab a pen and paper, be ready for it, because this is going to be for one lucky listener only. And we're doing this because we only have a few listeners for the podcast, only because it's relatively new. So we want to reward you and thank you for being a OUYAcast listener.
Thank you.
Be ready for that. But the big news story today, at least, is that there is another $85 Ouya bundle that you can get with a $25 card. And that's actually courtesy of stacksocial.com, which we will go ahead and put a link in for you. We had that same giveaway last time from, I forget who actually did it, but it's a really good price for the Ouya, which normally retails for $99. So you're getting for $85 the Ouya console and Ouya controller and a $25 card to download some games. So we will once again put that on the page. I believe it expires Wednesday, so that would be 3 days from now.
Yeah. Also, Walmart's online is offering the Ouya, not with the $25 gift card, but for I think $84.95. But just the Ouya itself with the controller for that same $85. So it's a kind of
That's a
good
terrific deal.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, especially if you were considering it at all. I mean, there's people, who've obviously paid the $99 for it. So heck, for $85 and a $25 gift card, you just can't beat it.
No, you can't beat it at all. Yeah, I know. There's a lot of people always looking for deals. Just stick tuned to OUYACentral.tv and OUYABrew.com, and we'll keep you informed.
Absolutely. So what do you got on your plate today, Brandon?
Oh, what I've been playing lately is what's that? The Nightmare Tower by Juicy Beast Studio. I've been I know ever since they announced their new game coming out, the Total Temple Deluxe. I was like, let me try out one of their games, because I mean, there's so many games on the Ouya, I haven't played them all. Have you?
No, not even close.
So I was like, let me try that out and see how it is, and I fell in love with it. It's almost like a temple run style game where you're actually not running, you're just shooting up and bouncing off cutting the monsters in half and trying to get further and further up the tower, because I think there's lava coming underneath trying to kill you. So at the same time as you progress and you get further and further, you rescue princesses from somebody captured them. I can't even remember. But
No, I think that I played that game before, and is it the one where the princess draws on the walls, like where you're supposed to go as you head down the tower?
no, this one is actually you're going up the tower.
Okay, I must be thinking of something new. I haven't actually reviewed this, but I think that you actually have some information on it at OUYACentral.tv. Is that right?
On this game, no.
Hmm.
I posted a live stream on my YouTube channel of me playing it.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, the Nightmare. It's called Nightmare Tower.
So there you have it, folks. If you want to see him play it, check that out.
Yeah, I really had a good time with that, and I played the free to try, and I got to the point where it was like you can keep on playing it, but they have it where they block the certain like armor and shoes, where you can actually jump higher and kill the enemies with a stronger kill, and for each kill you get like 1 point to go up higher, like faster up the tower. So with the add-ons, that when you collect coins also, and you use those coins to buy the upgrades for the armor, for the sword, for your shoes, for your I mean, then there's potions you can buy. But then I got to the point where I was maxed out, so I was like, let me just buy it and just keep on going. So I'm like, I saved up like 8 princesses so far. I just have 2 left, and I'm gonna definitely try beating that game because it was very enjoyable to play.
Hmm. Sounds like fun. I'll have to check that one out. But like
Yeah,
you said, there's so many games. I think they're pushing what 700 now, maybe more.
yeah, they're getting close.
I mean, it's incredible. I just can't keep up with them. And there are so many good ones that I haven't even begun to look at. Even older ones like I just started playing Muffin Night, and that was a really old one that was I think it was released almost with the Ouya, so it's almost about a year old. Never touched it, and then the other day I picked it up, and incredibly fun game. Super simple to play and pick up, and it's really fun. I don't know if you've played it or not, but essentially just this little. I think the story is you're a boy and you knock over some fairy godmother's basket of muffins, so she ends up turning you into a knight, and you have to go through all these levels collecting them. But it's really not like a platformer game. It's more like what I compare it to is Bubble Bobble. You know, there's like a bunch of like layers of platforms, and these like pigs and things, sheeps, they come down and try to attack you, and you've got to collect all these muffins on the level to upgrade yourself, and it's pretty cool. You get to do what was the funniest one I've seen so far? The unicorn. One of the weapons is you literally turn into a unicorn, and then you poop rainbow piles that explode when one of the enemies hits it. So, yeah, that's quality gaming right there. I don't care who you are.
Wow. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that game's been out. You said it for a while, and I think I remember seeing it on Android before it came out on Ouya. So it's cool that they're porting games over to the Ouya.
Yeah, I think that's Angry Mob Games that makes that one.
Okay. And the other game that I was trying out this week is called Ninja Hero Cats, and they announced that it's coming out on Ouya. It's been out on Android, and so I was like, let me try to take the APK file and sideload it onto my Ouya and see if it works. Because I noticed that they recently did an update where they said it has controller support with all the different types of Android controllers out there, like the Shield and the Mogo controller. So I was like, let me try it. So I sideloaded it on there. Sometimes when you sideload a APK that's not compatible, it's just gonna kind of look like it's doing something and it just goes back to the same screen. So I sideloaded it, it popped up and was playing like it would on any other Android device. So then a pop-up came up with this controller detected it. It detected the Ouya controller. So I was like, okay, cool. So I was able to try this game out. It's like you have like 5 ninja cats, and they battle against fish monsters and other dimensions from other dimensions. I mean, they're kung fu, karate, swinging samurai swords, just attacking all these different types of little monsters, and it was kind of cool to play. Um, you get once you progress through, you can actually once you collect for every kill that you get, you collect some kind of fish, and because cats eat fish, so I think they're called goldfish. Yeah, the goldfish is that they collect, and you once you get enough of those, you can actually upgrade your attack and the different um, attack moves and stuff like that. So I tried that out, and it was pretty cool. Only thing with the Android version that there's a big ad banner on the top of the screen, but it still worked. And that's all that mattered.
Well, that's pretty neat.
and
Did
it,
it
and it,
scale up to the Ouya screen?
Yeah, it filled the screen up, but it was just they have, like I said, on Android devices they have the dedicated ad space. So I guess it took up the top of the on your mobile device.
Hmm.
The top has the banner ad and stuff, and you normally have to pay to get them removed. I think there was a button for me to remove it, but it never went away. I don't know if it was supposed to pop up for me to like purchase it to get remove the ads, like most of Android games have. But yeah, they announced that it's heading to Ouya officially. They said stay tuned, not to miss it. But I was able to sideload it and try it out before it even comes to Ouya, so that was kind of cool.
Hmm. I'll have to check that one out too. Seems
Yeah.
like a lot of developers are realizing that the Ouya is definitely a viable platform to port over to, and since you're already on the Android console anyway, rather the Android platform, my bad, you can just integrate the controller for the Ouya. I'm sure there's maybe a little bit more to it, but essentially you're using the exact same platform, so it's not very hard, I wouldn't imagine, to port these games from just regular Android to the Ouya, assuming that you're not using nothing but touch controls or pinch zoom kind of controls. But for your standard games, I would imagine it's got to be pretty simple to do. So hopefully more developers will come to that same realization and start porting some of these great games over.
Yeah, and hopefully they can, implement the PS3 controller in there while they're at it.
And I know we got a couple questions from a few of our Twitter followers about the PS3 controller integration, which does work. You can sync your PS3 controller up to your Ouya, and most of the time it works. There's just a few games where some of the buttons aren't really compatible, and there's other games where they work 100% and there's no problems at all. So, note to all you developers out there, if you know how to do it, I know that the Ouya fans sure do appreciate you adding the PlayStation 3 controller support.
Right. I mean, because like when you buy the Ouya, it comes with one controller, and each additional controller is about $50. So I mean, if you already have, most people already have a PS3, so that's an extra controller that they can use to play multiplayer games with their friends and stuff, and that's what the Ouya is all about, is just having fun.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
are there any other games coming out that you're aware of worth mentioning?
Yeah, there's I don't know if you ever tried it on the Android device, but it's called Groundskeeper, and they have Groundskeeper 2 coming out, I guess probably on Android devices and coming out for Ouya. So I never played it on the Android device, the first one, Groundskeeper. So I did the same thing I did with the Ninja Hero Cats. I sideloaded the APK, and I was it said touch, so in order to start the game, I had to use the touch pad on the Ouya controller to start it, and I was able to use the D-pad to move the little guy back and forth. It's not a side scroller; it's like a game like gun slugs. I don't know if you played that game before.
Oh yeah, that's a great game.
Oh yeah, because so Groundkeepers is coming from the same developer, Orange Pixel, uh, and so Gunslugs is a side scroller, where Groundskeeper is just stuff is coming from the underneath this. So I guess zombies or skeletons are coming under from the ground, and you just got to shoot them and kill them and jump around and try not to die.
Hmm.
And so I mean the D-pad worked with it. The O button was the shoot button. I think the U button was the jump. I mean I was able to play that little game on the Ouya with the Ouya controller, and I was just testing it out, and it worked. So that was kind of cool too.
Hmm. Wow. Yeah, I love when you get that little extra surprise of something working with you. Yeah, that's not an official release yet because
All right, yeah, I really
uh,
wasn't expecting it to work, but it did.
yeah, I mean it's really cool because it takes your you know it really does take your Ouya to that next level because you're essentially getting just that added bonus of not only do they have almost 700 games in the library, but hey, this one works too.
Hmm.
Or even if it doesn't
Unofficially.
work, yeah, unofficially, but still, I mean, most of the, like I said earlier, most of the Android platform stuff is cross compatible, and yeah, I really wish that every game worked. like that. For example, like Minecraft, that's a terrific game, and it seems like, oh my god, that'd be so nice to just be able to sideload that and play it. But
Hmm.
the Minecraft Pocket Edition for the Android store does not at all work out of the box anyway with the Ouya controller. And there's hacks that you can do to make it kind of work for you. But that's a game that I really wish would hit the Ouya, and it was supposed to, if I recall. I don't know if you remember that, but I think it was
Yeah.
supposed to be almost a launch title, and then they just dropped support for it.
Even like on the Ouya's Kickstarter video, I think they had like screenshots of it being on, on the dashboard.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I really don't know what happened with that. I mean, it seems like that would have been a perfect fit for Ouya. It could have. I can maybe see some reasons for it. One of the reasons is the vastness of what it takes to make that world happen. And I'll tell you why I
Right.
say that. Coming up this week on the Ouya Brew updates, there's a new app out there called Sketch Shark in the Ouya store, and I'm gonna not try not to ruin
Spoiler
the
alert.
review, but yeah, but basically what it is the more stuff you render on the screen, the harder it is to continue to do something uh, with it. So you put more and more graphics on there. The Ouya starts to lag and slow down, and it's a processing issue. And I think maybe that could possibly be the issue with them, or maybe they just had a falling out. I'm not sure.
Um, I really can't tell either. I mean, they have it running on the Pocket Edition runs like on the Nexus 7, which is a Tegra 3 processor. So I mean, it doesn't have the controller support. I mean, if they can somehow integrate the controller support into the Android version, it should definitely work with the Ouya.
Absolutely. But if you're really, really wanting to play Minecraft anyway, you can always download the Caney streaming app, and you can play it streaming from your PC. Get your fix in. You know what though? There's a guy who a couple months back he started working on a clone of Minecraft, and it's called the Ouya Cubed,
Right.
and he had a Kickstarter for it, and he's been working on it. He's run into some issues, I know, with the Ouya trying to make it work correctly, but I think he's starting to overcome those. So I'm looking forward to that because I saw his video. I even played like the alpha for the PC, and it's pretty neat. Obviously, a lot of work to go, but he's definitely on the right track.
Right.
So let me see if I can get his name. Eric Blackburn. So shout out to you, Eric Blackburn in Salt Lake City, Utah. You keep working on that, man.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I mean, everybody's once the Minecraft comes up. Well, Minecraft is such a vast community, and why not have it on the Ouya? I mean, it's on pretty much everything else. I mean, you could play it on a Android device, like iPhone, an iPad, the PC, Xbox, PS4, and not PS4. I meant to say PS3, and eventually probably PS4 and Xbox One, because I know
I
they're
was gonna
talking
say
about
they're
the
probably
Xbox
already
One.
there. How do you know?
Right,
They probably hacked around to make it happen anyway.
right. I mean, but I mean, it's on everything. Why not the Ouya?
Yeah. Well, you never know. I mean, that's the thing is who knows what happened to these, games that were supposed to be released and then they weren't because yeah, they're not going out of their way to say, hey community, this is why this isn't happening. It's just all of a sudden,
They
it's
just
not there.
Yeah, it's kind of quiet and keep it. They're trying to keep it, I guess, on the hush hush.
Yeah, like Dead Trigger, they showed that in the promo video for the Ouya. That's not on there. You
Yeah,
can sideload it and play it, but
you can. I've tried. I wasn't able to.
yeah, you have to. It takes a little bit more to play it on there because I think you have to get the data folder downloaded and all that. I don't think you could just
Oh, okay.
sideload the APK and go.
Okay, that's what you
Yeah.
have to do. And you
Walking Dead, that was supposed to be out this winter, which I know winter officially has, I think, 26 more days or something like that. I'm not exactly sure, but yeah, it's who knows. I mean, I haven't heard anything about it, so
yeah, yeah. There's quite a few games that even like I'm trying. Why did I do that to myself? I know there's been a couple even Kickstarter games that might have happened that got funded. Probably back in when the Ouya got funded, and back in 2012, 2013, and there's probably never haven't been any updates on that games that are supposed to be coming to the Ouya.
hmm
and it's probably
Well,
past the time that they did said it was coming.
and it's really unfortunate. It's the community that's losing on that because we definitely love these indie developers and the games they come out with, and it's unfortunate that that happens. But there's plenty of great games out there still, and that's what I like to focus on is what's there now. And I'll tell you, but I'm just going to say this out front. So the game Flappy Bird that was taken off the
Android and
yeah.
iOS market, yeah.
So they have this game on Ouya now called Flappy Plane, and it's pretty much the exact same thing. It's with a plane instead of a bird, obviously. And I never played Flappy Bird. As a matter of fact, until it got pulled off the market, I really didn't even hear about it. Mainly just because my games on my tablet, for example, are pretty few and far between. Because when I do get to use my tablet, it's at work or something, and
You
they
can't be
just
doing that while you're working.
I can't be doing that while I'm working. Because although I wish
Hey,
Ouya Brew was my 100% income based,
right,
it's not. I still got a 9 to 5, so.
right. Same
So
here.
yeah, when I play games, it's pretty much going to be on the Ouya, and I can understand why now why people are so frustrated with that game because it's so addicting. You just keep wanting to go and play
Further and further,
another
yeah.
round,
Yep.
and like you die after like three little pillars. I'm like, oh geez, I'm horrible.
Right.
Well, what are you gonna do? I mean,
So yeah, that maybe after that, I mean, they were trying to sell the game on iPhones and Android phones that, with the game already on it for thousands of dollars.
oh, that's silly.
And even that after that happened, then there's people coming out with it other names for it, like Flappy Planes and Flappy Cats and all kinds of different there's a Flappy Temple with a dragon that's on the Ouya. I tried that
Wow.
one out, but I mean, it became very popular, and there's everybody coming out with it. And then you were talking about a little earlier about Flappy Plane.
hmm
You said that you're coming out with a review for it, right? Pretty soon.
Yeah, I'll actually be reviewing it this week a little later. I haven't decided which date it's going to go live yet because I like to
Stretch
talk
them
with
out.
we talk with the whole team here and make sure that everybody's in agreement on what date things are going in place and
Right.
try to make it fair for everybody.
Right. And get some more backstory on the whatever the app is or the game.
That's right, absolutely, and that's one thing, especially at Ouya Brew, because I know Ouya Central, you guys mainly do post about the games when they're coming out, whereas we try to go and do reviews on it. We don't necessarily have like a section where we post, this is out now, this is coming. We try to do more reviews. So when we do stuff, we like to talk to the developers whenever possible and get their take on the game and why they brought it to Ouya and things like that. So we try to keep it fair and really just like I said, make sure that everybody is taken care of because we certainly don't want to upset the developers.
Right.
They're
Yes.
good people.
So if you're a developer and you're listening, contact Ouya Brew at Ouya Brew on Twitter, and
Absolutely.
they'll talk to you and try to get a review going out for your game.
Absolutely. Yeah, anytime. I mean, and it's we can't necessarily, say that everybody's 100% for sure going to get their game reviewed
Right.
or rather put up on the site, but we'll take a look at just about everything that you want to send to us because we love, seeing what's out there. So,
Right.
but there's another game I know we were talking about earlier that we're both playing right now, and it seems like it's really fun, and that's Twin Tiger Shark. Is that right?
Yep. Twin Tiger Shark. And that developer, oh man, why do I do this to myself? I always forget what other games I mean, he has other games out on the Android market. I mean, on the
Mhm.
Ouya store.
Yeah. So for those of you that haven't played it yet, actually, I don't think it's official yet. I think it's still in the sandbox area of the Ouya
Well, no,
market.
no, it's on the new releases. It's not.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, they don't have the sandbox no more. Where you
Oh,
been?
man, I don't know. Last time I checked, they did, but maybe could be Look
Yeah,
in the wrong area.
they got rid of the sandbox. The game uh came out a couple days ago. I think around the 21st, and it's a biplane shooter from for like it's coming from the roots of the 80s, like in those propeller planes. What those called?
Yeah, those are
Those
the prop
warfighter
planes.
planes. Yeah, the crop dusters.
Yeah, so basically what this game looks like is the game 1943 or 42. There's a couple versions of it, but it's a side scroller. I guess it's technically an up and down scroller, but game, and you've got your propeller plane, your prop plane, and you're shooting tanks and other airplanes, and it's definitely, it looks a lot like 1943, and the arcade game especially. I even like how they did I don't know if you noticed, but they have like the middle screen where the game's at. You play it on there, but then on the side it's just like art,
Yeah, yeah,
It's
it's
like
the
game
cover
art.
art. Yeah,
I think that's really cool because it adds that more authentic feel, like you're just playing in this like little screen, like you were back in an arcade.
right.
I think that's pretty neat.
Yeah, they also have a feature where they have like online high score. So if you're playing on your Ouya, I think they have it also on the PC where you can get a high score and then be posted up there on the leaderboards. So that's kind of cool.
Absolutely. Well, speaking of the new release section, since apparently I haven't been there, just saying. What else is coming out?
What's came out or what's coming?
Oh, what's already out? What's new?
What's new? Tell you the truth, I haven't really been playing that much. Um, let's see. We
I
talked
know
about the
Tux
fl
Racer is out now. I think the Linux game where you're sliding down the ski slope or whatever.
Yeah, I guess it's an Android port of the open source hit game developed by Sunspry Studios.
Hmm.
I think I said that right, hopefully. It lets you take the role of the Tux of Linux Penguin as he races down steep, snowy-covered mountains, includes a variety of options for gameplay, including the ability to race courses in the fog or at night. I haven't tried it out, but I plan on to.
I tried it out. It's actually, I mean, I've played it on Linux before, but it's one of those games where it's fun for like 10, 15 minutes, and then you're just kind of like, all right, yeah, I'm good. But hey, not every. I mean, that game's been around forever. I mean,
Oh yeah,
I don't know when that game was made, but Tux Racer's been around for a long time.
huh? Yeah, yeah, I guess they ported it over. It just came out on February 18th.
Yeah,
To Ouya. It's on the Ouya Market, Ouya Play Store, not Play Store. Keep on mixing up the all the markets they have.
too many markets.
Wasn't there a new market that not a new market, but a market that you found that works with the Ouya?
Yeah, it's not 100% that it works, but there's a I actually did I think there's a review on it on Ouya. It's one mobile market, and it's just like the Amazon App Store, the Google Play Store, whatever. Uh, it's a little bit nicer for Ouya users though because it's able to be side-loaded. Unlike the Google Play Store, you have to do a lot of hack around to get that to work.
Hmm.
But if you're rooted, which once again highly recommend that you do, you can grant the mobile market super user access so that once it downloads, it automatically installs the game and you're ready to go. Now, just like every mobile market type store, there's not going to be 100% compatibility with a lot of stuff. But as we were talking about earlier, it's always nice when you find something, you download it, and oh my God, it works.
Oh wow, cool. Hey, how about we have a listener listening live right now?
Oh, do we?
Yeah,
Oh boy, this is exciting times.
yeah. He just I just got on our YouTube channel and on my YouTube channel and he says, "Hey guys, I'm listening live. Love the show." That's cool.
Awesome. Well, I think he's
Thank,
our very first listener ever.
thanks for listening, bro. His
Matter of
name is
fact,
the Andy EFC09. Shout out to you, bro. Thanks for listening.
absolutely. One thing that I actually discovered in the One Mobile Market is, have you ever heard of Duolingo?
Yes, I heard of that. They have it on iOS and Android,
Right.
and I've tried it
Well,
out a little bit too, and it's like a gamified like learning to learn another language, right?
yeah, exactly. I mean, up until now, pretty much if you want to learn another language, you're gonna have to go through Rosetta Stone. You're paying $200 for one course, and it's
Right.
a mess.
Yeah, it's very expensive.
Yeah, but Duolingo, it's 100% free. I found the app in the mobile market, and the One Mobile Market rather, and once again, I was surprised. It works very well with the controller. It goes full screen, so you're not stuck in that little weird aspect ratio box. It's a full screen thing, and
Wow.
the controller navigates perfectly. Sound quality is great. I mean, and that's really important when I'm looking at side loading stuff. Is does the controller work at least 95%? Because I don't care if I have to use the trackpad for like one or two menu options. That's not a big deal.
Right.
But if the controller works 95% and the screen expands and looks good, that's what's important to me. And Duolingo, uh, very very much so meets those two criterias. Plus, hey, you get to learn something. And if you're just kind of feeling like, I don't really want to play a game, but not sure what to do, hey, try it out because everybody can learn another language.
Yeah, I mean, our United States is very diverse. Everybody
Yeah,
wants to come to America.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Plus, it really helps me when I'm ordering through Taco Bell. I mean, I get the accents down really well now. I have a chalupa. Doesn't matter.
Yeah. One other thing that I wanted to talk to our listeners about. I don't know if hopefully some of them are Kickstarter backers like myself. Uh, Recently they had a developer hangout with Bob Mills and Tim G, Kelly, all the whole developing team from Ouya trying to talk to developers and help them to bring their games and to Ouya, ask if any developers have questions, they can bring them to them and they can answer it for them. So they brought up something about the controller, like because I think somebody was wanting to buy the newer controllers because the newer controllers, I guess, they have a newer firmware in it. So in the talk, they were talking about the Kickstarter controllers that you can send them back to them, and they'll flash the newer firmware up there, firmware onto it, and send them back to you. And me having the Kickstarter, I noticed there was a little lag switching through the menus of the Discover store, and recently I unboxed my new 16 gig Ouya, which has the newer firmware controller, and I could tell there's a great improvement with the controller. There's no lag, and I noticed that the buttons are a lot. The Ouya buttons are a lot. What's the word? They feel a little better than I remember when I had first got my Ouya
Like more
control.
responsive.
More responsive, and then they feel a little bit more durable for some reason. I noticed with my first for the original Ouya controller, my buttons used to get stuck when I first got it, and I contacted Ouya support on Twitter, and I contacted them. They set me up where they sent me some new faceplates, and the new faceplates that they sent me, they didn't get stuck anymore. But that's one thing that I noticed right from the get-go is that the new controller, there's no way for the buttons to get stuck underneath. Um, I mean, it's more responsive than the original controller, the Kickstarter back controllers. Most of the retail controllers have the newer firmware, and my controllers had the firmware. What was it? 102, and they said that the newer firmware was 104, and I went on and I checked this new controller and see, and I have this. The newer controller has the 104
Hmm.
firmware. So I mean, if you want to check and see what firmware you have, especially if you're a Kickstarter backer, you want to go to from the home screen, you want to go to manage, then you want to go to controllers, then you want to go to pairing, and from pairing you want to click on the Y button, which takes you to the Bluetooth settings, and then you want to go to your controller, the Ouya game controller that's connected and paired to your device, and you want to use the touchpad to hit the little setting button on the far right side. And when you do that, I'm actually doing it right now. When you get to the paired Bluetooth device, it's going to show you like check your firmware version. You can check your battery level on your batteries. And so when you click on that firmware version, it'll tell you if you have 102 or 104. And I think they said that anything below 104 is probably more than likely the Kickstarter controller. So, I mean, all you do is go to support.ouya.tv, and you can submit a ticket, and then they'll give you the address to mail them to, and they'll say be sure to print it out, and you have to pay. You have to pay to send it to them. But they don't charge you anything to mail them back to you. So I just sent mine out on Wednesday, and they got it Friday, and then we're recording this on Sunday. So next week, they got them on Friday, and they mailed them off the same day. So I got mine. I'm headed back to my way, and I should receive mine by Wednesday. So that's kind of cool.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah. So if you're a
They're good
Kickstarter
folks there.
backer,
They really are a good support team there. I know there's, of course, no matter what kind of company you run, there's going to be people that have bad experiences because they think things should have gone one way and you think they should have gone another, and all that. But every time I've dealt with, the support team, they've always been just above and beyond. And when I deal with them, sometimes I don't necessarily use my Ouya Brew account because I don't want them to treat me or any member of the staff here with any kind of favoritism. I want to see what they're going to do for the average user. So I would say probably about 95% of the time when we talk to them, it's through personal accounts.
Right. Same here.
And it's really, even still, they've got just stellar customer service. They're always willing to work with you. A really recent issue that we had was there was a glitch with the Play Store, and it was displaying a game, and they went back and forth with us just over and over again trying to get it resolved, which eventually we did. But it shows a lot of the type of character that they've got at their customer support team and what they're willing to do for their customers, and I really really appreciate how they handle their support tickets, and it's phenomenal.
Right, and then they respond within like less than 24 hours most of the time. I mean, for me, they're 2 for 2, so I give them props for that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I know a pretty big buzz in the Ouya world today is a video that's coming out from a different person. You want to explain that a little bit? Mr. Ben Heck.
Oh yeah, Ben Heck. He's I know a lot of people are saying he's wasting his time and stuff like that, but he's done it. Didn't he do a different type of hack before with the Ouya?
I think he did.
I can't remember. I remember seeing it, but I can't remember.
He does so many.
Yeah, but he did his most recent hack with the Ouya. He's trying to turn it into a portable Ouya. Ouya portable. That must be the next the Ouya 2.0 coming out. But yeah, he's taking the Ouya apart and he's trying to make it into like a portable device. He bought a touch screen, but I think he took the touch screen off of it.
He did. Yeah, he's just using the screen. It's like a 7-inch display screen for like a car stereo mount or something weird like that.
Yeah. So I mean, he's trying to, and he's got it working pretty much. He's just got to put it into like a handheld device pretty much.
Yeah, and the way he's doing it is really neat because he kind of shows you everything step by step and what he's doing. I, for one, I find it kind of ironic and funny because so we've got Android devices and we took the Android off of the small phone, we put it into the Ouya so that we could play it on the big screen TV, and now he's taking the Ouya and putting it back on the small screen. It's like it's a little funny. I mean. But nonetheless, the way he's doing it, it's really cool looking. And because the screen is 7 inches. Of course, I'm sure when it's all said and done, the handheld is going to be mighty large, but it's the whole hacking of it and making it into something different that's kind of cool.
He could have probably used a Game Gear. You remember those?
Oh God!
Those things were huge.
And if you didn't sit by a wall charger, you were not going to play it. I remember having a Game Gear. Yeah, it lasted like 20 minutes, and then you had to put in another 10 AA batteries. It was horrible. Horrible.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, you can check that video out. I think on both of our sites. I know I have it up, and I think you have a portable section up on yours, don't you?
Yeah, on OUYACentral.tv and also on Ouya Brew. We have a video on there. I think pretty soon he's gonna post. I think maybe today he's posting the part 2 of the video. I know he had a part 2 trailer teaser thing on there, and yeah. So on our site you can check out the first part of his little series on making the Ouya portable.
Mm-hmm. He did actually post the second video. It'll be in the updates for this week for Ouya Brew. But if you want to jump the gun and just go check it, I think he can just be found. I know the website that hosts his show is Element 14, I want to say, but
yeah, that's it.
Just Google Ben Heck Ouya and you can see it right now. And then I believe next week he'll be finishing up with part 3 of the series. So I'm looking forward to seeing what he comes up with. I think when he leaves at the end of part 2, he's just in the middle of printing out with a 3D printer the case design that he's working on. So it's going to be pretty interesting, and I'm actually really excited to see what he does with it.
Yeah, me too.
And one thing with that is depending on what you play on your Ouya or Ouya portable, if you somehow manage to be able to duplicate what he's done, because the Ouya is not just for whatever games they have in their store. You can sideload a lot of stuff, like Grand Theft Auto 3, I think it is. Is that the one that plays on there?
I think so.
San Andreas, or I'm not really exactly sure.
They got so many of those Grand Theft Autos.
They really do. But you can play them on the Ouya. Things like that, though, that game takes up a little bit more processing power, so sometimes your Ouya gets a little sluggish. One of the things, though, that can correct that is there's actually a Tegra overclock APK that's specifically designed for the Ouya. You can find it at ouyabrew.com. Just do a search for whatever Tegra overclock, and it'll pull it up. Really simple, and this is something that, seriously, if you're afraid to modify your Ouya at all, I completely understand. I'm not saying that you're wrong for being afraid, because I was at first too. Mm-hmm. But with what they have out there now, you can root your Ouya with a one-click APK file, and you can overclock your processor with a one-click APK file. So 2 programs that will drastically improve the user experience and the usability of the Ouya, and it's just so simple. And I can't say enough about it. It really is simple. It's really worth looking into it.
I know, and you wouldn't be sharing it with our listeners if you didn't test it out yourself, and you're like a living testament that it works, right?
Absolutely. I mean, I've never once had a problem with the root. I just recently tried the Tegra overclock, but so far I haven't had any issues with it, and I haven't really heard any issues with it. So it's worth trying. I mean, it really is, because the worst that can happen is something breaks, it doesn't do what it's supposed to do, and you can reset your Ouya. But remember, when they came out with the Ouya, they wanted people to hack it. They want people to sideload things, install things, and just enjoy it. It's a fun console. It's supposed to be fun. Don't feel bad for doing it, because that's kind of the mentality we've been put in recently with a lot of these phone carriers. Oh, don't hack your phone, don't put anything on it you're not supposed to.
Right.
Ouya's like, yeah, go ahead, hack it, take it apart, do this with it. Whatever, have fun.
All right, yeah, that's one reason why I got a Ouya, because the hackability for it was, they were open to it. They weren't, don't do it. They want people to enjoy doing different stuff with it.
Absolutely.
So you had a special announcement for our listeners, didn't you?
I do. So this is going to be for the very first listener that hears this. If we got a live listener, you might just be the lucky one. So what we're giving away is a $5 digital redemption code for the Ouya. So get your pen and paper out because I'm going to be giving it to you in about 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Your $5 digital Ouya code is 29USWV as in Victor, L6, V as in Victor, Q. I'm going to read that back to you one more time. 29USWV as in Victor, L, 6, V as in Victor, Q as in Queen. So you take that code, just go to your manage option, your account, payment, and then redeem code. If you're listening to this on Monday or any other time during this next week, it's probably already been redeemed, but hey, you never know. Try it anyway.
Maybe next time you can listen live and hear it first.
That's right. That is courtesy of OUYABrew.com, and we really do appreciate you guys listening to this podcast, OUYABrew.com, OUYACentral.tv. It does mean a lot to us. It really does, because without you guys, we're just talking to ourselves, which I do a lot, but...
Yeah, me too. Well, guys, thanks. That's it for this week. Thanks for listening. Nick, we try to. We're gonna do this every week, and we're just gonna. We don't have a set schedule yet, but we're gonna try to get there eventually. But just stay tuned to our channels and follow us at Twitter at Ouya Central TV and at Ouya Brew. Thanks for listening. You have a good week.
All right, guys. Thanks, Steve, for tuning in. Have a good one. I'll talk to you guys next week.
Next time.
All right. Bye.
Thanks. Bye-bye. All right.